Welcome to the driver's seat and the much anticipated, long awaited, and I say that because it's been 14 years since Toyota launched the last generation Tundra full-size pickup truck. We're outside of San Antonio, Texas, where they manufacture these trucks along with the Tacoma. So we're going to get a plant tour of that tomorrow. But today we're here to really test these vehicles. We're at the off-road track, and these vehicles are extremely capable. One thing that Toyota has an advantage over the competition is crawl control. That's with the 5 settings. We'll demonstrate that to you. And those are the things people want pickup trucks for: towing, hauling, and off-roading. One of the knocks on the outgoing model was fuel economy, and we don't have precise numbers, but we expect 20 on average for the 3.5 twin turbo engine, which is the kind of the base engine. And then you have the hybrid engine, which comes standard on all the TRD Pros, which is what you see here. One of 6 grades, this is the top grade. And that's gonna have the same 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo, but with a hybrid. Under the back seats, you'll lose the capacity to store some tools and whatnot, and instead there'll be a battery pack. Now I want to talk about something that maybe nobody else will talk about when it comes to full-size trucks. Now, I look at Toyota, and as someone who owns a couple of them right now, they're a very humble company. They're going to focus on a couple of things, and the main one is QDR, quality, durability, and reliability. And I can tell you, someone who owns 2 Land Cruisers, it meets all that, and so does this Tundra. If I was buying a truck based on that, not on all the gadgetry, you're not going to get a trick tailgate with this Tundra. You're not going to get a Ram box. You're not going to get some of those cool things that you get in the other domestic trucks. But I also think that's by design. Japanese are relatively humble people, and they dominate the sedan segment. You look at Corolla and Camry. You look at the crossover segment, Highlander, RAV4. They dominate so many segments. I don't think they really want to dominate the pickup truck segment. They do in the midsize with the Tacoma, but I think they want to take a little step back. This vehicle may not be a direct competitor to those big 3 in some ways, because those are trucks people keep for 3 to 5 years. This is the truck you keep for 5 to 10 years. As mentioned, the base engine for most of the 6 trim levels is going to be a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. It produces 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. That's replacing the outgoing 5.7 liter V8, which some people may not be real happy about. But this hybrid engine that we're looking at here, which is going to be on the top trim levels, is going to have 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. All are mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. One little footnote: there is a slightly detuned version of the non-hybrid engine for the very base model. So we have literally spent a full day towing, hauling, and off-roading. Off-roading's our favorite. This is now our 3rd lap, and we've done it with a Limited, we've done it with an SR5, and now we're doing it with really the ultimate off-road Tundra, which is the TRD Pro. And we've experienced the crawl control, and you know, we're really starting to fall in love with this truck. All the changes that they've made, and when I say all the changes, it's a completely new truck. Nothing is carried over from the outgoing model. All new infotainment. Toyota has been notorious, and I mean notorious, for having arguably the worst navigation system in the industry. As somebody who owns a 2020 Land Cruiser, I could tell you that navigation system was so bad, I actually upgraded to an Apple CarPlay. But this system, especially with the 14-inch display, is pretty damn good. And I don't know why it took Toyota so long, but I guess some things are worth waiting for. So as far as navigation goes, you still have the option of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but what you really have, which is cool on the off-road packaged, so in the 4x4 models, are all the cameras, and we've demonstrated those. There are 4 different angles. You can see, you know, if you're in a narrow area, left, right, front, forward, it's amazing. Bird's eye view, you name it. So a lot of driving aids. Toyota Safety Sense comes standard on every trim level. And we're just excited about this truck. It's quieter. The V6 engine, especially with the hybrid, is powerful. It's more efficient. I mean, they've really addressed every single thing. I think they could have gone a little further with the tailgate and the bed of the vehicle, but you know, let's just say they've gone almost all the way, and they've left some options, I think, for some future upgrades as well as accessories. Speaking of accessories, they have over 100 accessories. 50 of them are all brand new, and you even have an option for a 3-inch dealer installed lift. That would be pretty cool to get. Love the controls. The digital display is really brilliant. You have all sorts of aids for towing, for example, where you can go and check all the lights. You can put multiple trailers on there. So if you have a boat, you have motorcycles, you have a motorhome, whatever you have you're towing, you can have different settings and put the length and automatically make calculations for you. I mean, so much sophistication in this vehicle. So what it lacks in some of the kind of the glitzy kind of options, like the Ram split gate or the Ram box and the corner step bumper that Chevy has, of course, the multi-pro gate. You know, you look at all the other brands and they all have something. What it lacks in that, I think it more than makes up with in the technology inside the vehicle, and I just have so much, you know, faith and confidence in the engine. The whole, back to that QDR, quality, durability, reliability. I really believe Toyota is second to none, and I don't want to sound like a commercial. I'm not a paid advertisement, but that's just the bottom line. You know, if I had to keep a truck for 10 years, this is the one I would get. I'd like to know the pricing first. There are some little styling things I would change about this truck, but overall, I think they've just done a great job. Overall, I think they've done a great job. When you get inside these vehicles and test drive them, I think you're going to be extremely impressed. The seats are comfortable. You know, the packaging, I think they've done a good job. You know, as low as SR5, you can take an SR5, put an off-road package on it, and maybe add some accessories, and you could have yourself a nice off-road vehicle. If you want something a little more luxurious, maybe you go with a Limited. SR5 and Limited are probably going to account for about 65% of sales, and then the rest is going to be spread out between some of the lower and the upper trim levels. So with crawl control, my foot is not on the accelerator. He's telling me to go left. He's telling me to go straight. I'm doing nothing. This is just Toyota doing its thing. There are 5 settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are basically speeds. I had this in my 2020 Land Cruiser when we first showed it in the Tacoma TRD Pro, and it's just brilliant technology. Other car companies now have kind of their own version, but I feel like Toyota just has an advantage. If you've ever driven one with one of the original ones, it sounded very clunky. That was Gen 1, then there was Gen 2. This is actually Generation 3 of the crawl control. So very impressive. And again, it's still kind of doing its thing. A little too slow for me, so I'm going to speed it up to level 5, and then once we get up to here, I'll just turn. I don't even need it right now, but I'm just letting it do its thing until I can get to this flat spot, and then I'll turn it off. So call control is just a great feature, and then once you push the brake, you can cancel it. So I'm going to cancel crawl control and go back on our way. They have us in 4 low, which is definitely overkill for what we're doing here, but the bottom line is that they're trying to demonstrate how capable this truck is. I have news for you. All of the full-size trucks today, from the Nissan Titan to the F-150, of course we're talking about Silverado, Sierra, and Ram, they're all capable. The technology has really advanced to the point where lines are blurred. Toyota's advantage, and I'll be saying this throughout this video, is QDR, quality, dependability, reliability. As somebody who owns a '99 Land Cruiser, I can speak to that. And obviously, I bought a 2020 Land Cruiser. I mean, I believe in these trucks. They're not the fanciest. They're not class leading in really any of the major categories, whether it's fuel economy or. So the bottom line is, what's more important to you? Is it the gimmicks, or is it the quality and reliability? And of course, obviously, we're going to look at three things: off-road capability, towing, hauling. Those are the key things. And then, of course, amenities. Toyota's offered us some pretty slick cameras here. Let's going to look at some of the different angles. This comes in handy. This is, you can see the rear angle. There's a wider rear angle. Pretty slick technology. And again, a lot of the competitors are offering similar things. As you can see, we have another Limited right behind us, and I purposely asked the driver to stay really close to us so you could just kind of see the different views. This one gives you the side view. Very slick. I just love this technology. This is the cameras are getting so sophisticated, not just for off-roading, but for towing as well, and just everyday parking and driving. Just love it. This gives us that front view. Another front view with you can see the sides of the vehicle. We'll go back to this one so you can kind of see the. One of the comments that my co-driver made is that in this Limited with the silver, it almost looks like a silver Fu Manchu Mustang, kind of like a handlebar mustache. I don't know. We'll see what the general public says, but it is an interesting look. Okay, now we have the front view here, and we're gonna try and get as close as we can to this green Tundra, just so you could see. This is something that would kind of come in handy if you were, in a caravan doing some off-roading. You want to see what's on the sides. Sides are probably some of the most important features, well, depending on the situation. But especially if you're in a very narrow trail. I mean, these are not narrow trucks, but sometimes it comes down to a matter of inches. So love the off-road capabilities, not just from a mechanical, but also from a technology standpoint that Tundra has. So now we're driving the hybrid, which is probably the true kind of V8 replacement, and everyone's going with this V6 twin turbo. Not everyone, but certainly Ford started the trend, and I think that's just the direction that everything is going to be headed. So Toyota actually has two versions of the non-hybrid twin turbo V6, 3.5 liter, and then they have this version, which is the hybrid, and the battery pack goes underneath the back seats, so you lose that storage area, but plenty of power. Fuel economy on the non-hybrid is around combined 20, is what Toyota tells us, and then this one's not coming out till next spring of 2022, and we expect it to be around 21, 22. That's probably what you'll get, which is good. 20 miles per gallon combined, that's about what the F-150 with the standard engine gets. So respectable. When you're the leader, which is F-150, you want to benchmark that vehicle as much as possible, and I really believe that that's what Toyota has done. You know, when you get the hybrid, you get the iForce badging on the hood, and yeah, I'm looking at this red vehicle with the black fake vents. Not a big fan. It's really sticks out. I prefer more subtle, but you wanted the bigger engine, the more, I guess, technologically advanced engine to stand out a little bit. So there you have it. I mean, they've never had a turbo in a truck until now, and they've never had a hybrid in a truck until now. So some firsts for Toyota. If there's one area I think Toyota could have gone a little further, it's what's happening back here in this bed. Now, I like the composite bed, that's a good deal, but as mentioned, the tailgate is just a standard tailgate. It's not electronic, it doesn't split, it doesn't have some kind of multi-pro function like the GM trucks do. But again, Toyota's relying on their quality as far as selling it to you. But it does have this Utilitrack system, which works quite nicely. So you're going to have two cab configurations. There's a double cab, and that one it can come in a 6.5 foot bed or an 8.1 foot bed. And then you have this crew cab that we're driving today. What's nice about that is the outgoing model, the crew cab is only available in the 5.5 foot bed. Now you can get in a 5.5 or a 6.5 foot bed, and I think that's a big deal. And that's going to be the majority of the trucks that they sell. So that's the bottom line. We don't have pricing yet on the all-new Tundra. That's coming a little bit later, but we expect it to be very competitive with the big three, and I'll add the Titan in there. It certainly is going to be right in there. I think the top of the line TRD Pro here is going to come in under $70,000, which is a good value, especially if you're going to do some serious off-roading. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.